Greg Bridges with Trading the Pips. So today we're going to be going over the stock market. Yesterday I went over and did a video for Forex, and today I just want to jump in on the stock market. Right now it's 8:01 a.m. It's May 18th, 2020, right? So right now we have MSN Money up, and we actually have our watch list on the screen right now in the tab, and it actually on this watch list, this is everything that I've purchased or have gotten free with no cost via Robinhood, right? So just looking at some of the companies, USO is one that I bought, BP, Carnival Cruise Lines, Goldman Sachs, PBF Energy, Goldman Sachs, Bed Bath & Beyond, Azul, Ford, GoPro, Build-A-Bear, ViewRay, Vion, Washington Prime Group, and GNC Holdings, right? So we're looking at the different prices of all of these things inside our MSN window and the current price and the change over Friday or the weekend, and where this thing has went to, right? So we can click over here to our Robinhood account. It will show you right now that we have a total portfolio value of $1,784.84, right? So we have basically in stock $1,718, and in cash we have $66.60. So most people say, man, why you don't have a lot in cash? And well, I move my cash in as I see fit, right? So I move in 100, 1,000, whatever I choose to move in, right? So as we scroll down, we'll see what's going on with our stocks. We have PBF Energy. We own 30 shares. The price right now is $9.70. Average cost to me was $6.35. This thing was up in the tens. It dropped down a little bit, but we're still in the profit, right? $100.50 in the profit. GER, Goldman Sachs Fund. Actually, GER and GMZ are one of the ones I talked about before. They did a reverse split. These things were maybe in the dollar range or $2 range at one point, and now when they did the reverse split, it took away most of the shares that we had, gave us fewer shares, but up the average cost. So the average cost right now to me was $6.89. Right now the price is $6.08. We're up $64.30. GMZ, we're up $49.66. Average cost $7.55. It's $10.47 right now. GNC just went into this. This is actual GNC, the health supplement place. And we decided to go in and buy 300 shares at an average cost of 43 cents. It's 52 cents right now. We're up $26.52. So as you know, the more shares you buy at the lower cost, it just has to move up just a little bit. In this case, it's moved up maybe 9 cents, and we're up to $26. Bed Bath & Beyond is another one that I got in at 10 shares at $4.42. Wish I would have bought more. Currently at $6.07. Since I've been holding it, it's went as high as sevens, mid sevens, almost eights. So Bed Bath & Beyond is one of the ones that I'm actually going to continue to hold on to, because if I'm not mistaken, this thing was actually maybe $15 or more. So if we go back 3 months, yeah, this thing was $12.57. If we go back 1 year in range, the low was 7 and some change, and the high was 17. So going into when COVID happened, which is right around this area, this thing was 14 before it did a drop in 11, right? So we may say, okay, average cost maybe 11. So if I want to sell Bed Bath & Beyond, it'll be around $11. So going backwards, we went over Bed Bath & Beyond. We're up $16.50 on that, as you can tell right there. We're going to go to GoPro. GoPro, I have 3 shares. As you can see, we have an average cost of 0. Why do we have an average cost of 0? Because these 3 shares was given to me by Robinhood, because 3 people signed up, right? And those 3 people also got 3 free shares of some random stock that I don't know anything about, right? So right now, average cost is $3.90. We want to sell GoPro at $4. So I'm willing to let GoPro go at $4. That's 10 cents away. It'll make me $12. Then I'm out of the GoPro. I'll pocket that 12, or it'll be sitting in my account, and that 66 will go up, right? So U.S. Oil. U.S. Oil is one of the ones that I talked about, along with another one, UCO. And this company was actually $1 and some change. It was $2 and change when I got in, dropped down to $1 and some change, maybe $1.60 something. They did a reverse split. When they did a reverse split, just like with GMZ, the Goldman Sachs funds, they went up in their average cost, right? And they gave you fewer shares. So I want to say I had 100 plus shares, and they cut that down, right? So now I have 5 shares, average cost $22.42. The price right now is $23.99. What does this mean? That means the price of oil is going back up. So they did some changes with their ETF, their fund, and prices are going back up, right? So current price is $23.99 for this ETF. So we're at positive $7.85. So what do we know about oil? Oil is still in under demand, right? But by them being able to move things around and, with their contracts, the prices for these contracts are going to continuously, or we hope they will continuously go up. So it's up to you if you want to go ahead and get out and catch a few dollars in profit. Like I said, we're up $7.85. But I'm not willing to get out of oil at $7.65 a profit. I'm not ready to get out at that particular price. And as you can tell, it's moving around. It was 99, it dropped by, 4 cents, right? So I'm not ready to get out right now, and this is something I'm probably going to hold into the $44 range. And then, like I said, overall, how much is going to make me? Yeah, maybe $200 and some dollars. I'll make double. I actually can make more than that. But right now we're gonna shoot for double, right? So we're gonna move on to Washington Prime Group. So Washington Prime Group is one that we got in at 62 cents. We bought 100 shares of it, and we did this maybe in the beginning, right when COVID hit and the prices dropped down low, right? So right now we're at 67 cents, almost at 68 cents. Per share, and we're at positive $5.95 altogether. So about a 5 cent jump overall in our shares, and we're at $5.95. So moving on, and just to tell you real quick, Washington Prime Group is a REIT, so they deal with real estate properties, right? So and they're commercial real estate properties. So they're looking at these big areas, plazas, where you may have your GNCs or your smaller companies that are right there, your TurboTaxes and or Western Unions. They may be inside those plazas. So this group, Washington Prime Group, is collecting rents from those different buildings or businesses that are in there. And by them collecting those rents, it helps. It helps boost their profits and so on and so forth. Therefore, their stock shares will go up in prices right now. So we know that REITs are being hit badly right now in the market because some people are not paying their rent, they're not hitting their targets, and some stores are starting to close. So at this present moment, Washington Prime Group is up by 5 cents, but I can tell you Friday this thing went down to like maybe 50 something cent, so 50 and some change. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on Washington Prime Group. It's not something I'm going to sell at any time at the present moment, but I actually may even go in and get even more shares as the price goes down. So if this thing goes below the 62 cent range, back down to the 50 cent range, I may decide to go in and buy at least 900 shares. It'll put me right at 1,000 with Washington Prime Group, and just watch and see what happens. So if this thing goes up to $1, obviously I would have made a little bit of money, right? So we'll keep on pushing forward, and we have Carnival Cruise Line. Right now, my average cost was $8.75. Current price is $13.85. I want to shoot myself in the foot because I only bought one share. I should have bought way more than one share of Carnival Cruise Line's average cost of Carnival. If we click on it, it's going to be maybe in the $50-something range, so $43 range. 3 months ago, and that was in our February timeframe. We go back 1 year, we can see that was in the 50s. And if we scroll down just a bit, we'll see just by more information. And we can see that our 52-week low was $7.80. 52-week high was $54.18. So we could possibly say Carnival Cruise Line at some point is going to go up to 40 something dollars, and we'll get out right around that range. They pay a dividend of $15.99. Are they paying a dividend yield right now? No. Carnival Cruise Line, along with a lot of other companies, have suspended their dividends until they get back on track. And because of what happened with COVID, right? So we're up a positive $5.13. We'll move on down to Ford and some of the other ones. So Ford, I have one share. Should have bought more. Actually, I got for free. Average cost is zero. It's $5.08, so I'm up $5.08. So Ford usually fluctuates down into the $4 range, $4.70 range. I want to say it went down to $4.20, which would have actually been a decent buy, right? So Ford does pay dividends as well. They have suspended their dividend payment just like Carnival Cruise Lines. So we're positive 509. We'll go down to Build-A-Bear right now. Build-A-Bear, we bought 20 shares. We got in at 177. Build-A-Bear is up 188 right now. We're at positive $2.20. We don't have a lot of money invested in Build-A-Bear, but we are planning on selling this somewhere in the twos, maybe 260 range or something like that. And we'll come out with a couple of extra funds, right? So moving on to ViewRay, I have 21 shares. Why do I have an odd number of shares? Well, ViewRay was one of the ones that I got for free. So I had one free share of ViewRay, and I decided to go in and buy another 20 shares, right? So average cost right now for me is $1.84. ViewRay is at $1.87. We're up 67 cents. So is ViewRay going to make a lot of money for me? No. ViewRay doesn't pay dividends, and this thing is probably going to go. I think average cost is around $3. Usually the price range is around $3 and some change. COVID hit, it's been hovering inside the ones, right? So when this thing goes back up, possibly in the twos, say 250, 230, I'll go ahead and sell it, take a few dollars in profit, and I won't look back at ViewRay anymore. So as we continue to push down, we're going to talk about Azul Airlines. So Warren Buffett just said some things about the airliners. He said they're not profitable, and he wants to stay away from them, right? So he got rid of all his shares in all the different airlines. So Azul Airlines is a Brazilian airline, and I bought 20 shares in it. Now, I bought it at $6.68. I can tell you that on Friday, this thing dropped down to the $5 and some change range. I think it was like $5.68. It could have dropped down lower. We'll have to take a look at that. So we're negative $12 and some change in Azul right now. If we click on it and we look at the day's range, and even if we just click right here on Show More, you'll see the 52-week range was $5.30, which I want to say it hit one of those days. But Friday, the low was $5.60. The high was $6.11, right? So if we go up and we say, okay, a month ago, where was Azul at? Well, it was in the $9 range a month ago. It dropped down a little bit into the 8s. It dropped down into the 7s. But a month ago, it was in the $9 range. We go back 3 months ago, before everything hit, this thing was in a $39 range, right? February 28th, it was still $28. You can see it just descended and went downward before hitting one of the lows in the $5 range, right? And then it jumped back up into the 13 range before starting to jump and go back down, right? So right now, it's down a bit low. Do we care about it? No. Excuse me. So right now, we're planning on holding on to the Azul Airlines until this thing goes back up in value. Azul Airlines is a Brazilian airliner. It's one of their major, or the major airliner that they have down there, and they're actually in talks with their government to get bailed out. And I want to say it's a $600 million bailout. So Azul is definitely one of the ones that I'm going to continue to keep my eye out on to buy more shares if it continues to drop. Do I want to buy right now at 601 to try to change my average cost? No. This thing we know dropped down into the $5 range. So it has a tendency to possibly stay in the $5 range or go back down to the $5 range and even go into the $4 range. I don't think it'll go less than $4 and some change. But I'm going to be keeping my eye out on it just to say, hey, yeah, let me grab it in the $4 range if it does go down there, or if it goes down to $5 even, I'll go in so that I can adjust my average cost. And at that point, I may say, all right, well, I'm looking at buying 100 shares of Azul at that point, because I just want to have more, right? More shares. So does this thing pay dividends? I don't actually think so. We can go down here and keep scrolling down, and it doesn't have a dividend yield at all. Now, does that mean that Robinhood hasn't posted information? I'm not sure. We have to actually go in and take a look, but I don't want to do that right now. Moving on to British Petroleum, BP. We have an average cost of $29.12. At one point, if you remember, I had an average cost of $35 and change. How do we get it down? Well, we got it down by buying 2 more shares at a lower price. Right now, BP is at $23.27. We're negative $23.38 with this particular trade, right? So if we wanted to, right now, we could go in and we could buy 4 more shares at this price right here, and we'll cut our price down, let's say, to $27. Do I feel like it's worth buying another 4 shares just to have my average cost drop by $2? No. It would not be worth it to me at this particular time. But if it dropped down into the 20s, or if it dropped down into the 19 range, I would then go in with another 4 shares to 6 shares to have my average cost drop down into the $25 or $24 range, because we can see right here, BP does go up into the $23 range at the present moment, and it's actually a $35, $40 stock, right? I think the 52-week high was maybe $45. And let's scroll down just a bit and show more. So yeah, 52-week high was $43. So 52-week low was $15.51, which was hit during this COVID scare, right? So, and it's been ranging. That was Friday, $21.63. High was $22.26. As you can tell, it's actually up higher right now. And we actually have a pending dividend payment that's coming, right? $2.50. That's going to be coming pretty soon. So on those 4 shares, they're going to give me $2.50. Most people will say, hey, well, that's not a lot of money. Well, they're going to pay you that dividend 4 times a year. So depending on how many shares you got, the more money they're going to pay you, right? So for 4 shares, they're going to give you $2.50, and just adding it up, they're paying you that 4 times a year. That means you're going to get $10 from BP off those 4 shares. So, if I go back to BP, it'll actually show you my average cost, what it cost me right now. So it cost me $116.46. So I'm going to get $10 off of back for dividends. So it's not quite 10%, off of what I've actually spent, but it's close, right? So I'm close to it, and I want to say it may be maybe 8%, 7%, something like that. We can go down and see. I think they show the dividend yield. Right now they're saying it's 11.46%, but that's at the actual current price. So we're a little bit less than that, and what we're bringing back in. But it's all good. We believe that BP is going to go back up in value as time goes on. Last stock that I'm going to talk about is Vion. I own 60 shares of Vion. At one point, they were paying a dividend. I haven't got word yet that they're going to continue paying it. But we did get paid a dividend of $3.44 a while back. And let's see if it'll show it to us. Vion. And let's see if we click on more. And yeah, the dividend yield right now is 25.18. It's not showing. Let's see. Yeah, see, show more. My history. Yeah, March 5th, we got a dividend payment of $3.44, right? So going backwards and going up, we see they have a 25.18% dividend yield, and we have $120.45 invested in this company with those 60 shares. Our current equity is $88.80. So are we down in Vion? Yes, we are down by $31.65. And our average cost is $2.01. One probably would say, hey, why haven't you went ahead and bought more shares at the lower price right now to cut this thing down? Well, At the present moment, I have decided not to do so because Vion pays about $23 or $24 in a dividend, and at the current shares that I have, and it will pretty much take up most of that negative equity that we have. And as the price continues to go back up, the average cost of VN was around $2.35 and some change, right? So we're still going to be positive. So VN is paying enough out that, and I believe it's going to go up enough that it's going to wipe out that. So right now at $1.48, I don't feel comfortable paying just to drop it down to maybe $1.60. I just don't feel comfortable just yet. So if it drops down into maybe the $1.30 range, was what an 18-cent move downward, then I'll consider it, or even at $1.40. So I'm continuing to look at VN. But everybody has their own view of how they want to trade and how many shares they want inside a company. But as of right now, I am just going to continue to take a look at VN and see which direction they go. So looking at what we have right here, we could say that, all right, we're negative. This right here is what, $35. We'll just estimate to be $36. So $67, and some change, right? So we'll say 66 to $67 in negative equity. And looking at our positive range, we're way ahead, way ahead. So even though we're negative 67, you see where we're in the positive on everything else. So $100 right here, $64 right here. So we just estimated it to be $165. Another $50 right here. So that just puts us right into the 200 range. Another $27. We'll say that's 30. So that's 230. We'll just say that's 240, 250. We'll just add those two together and say 260, 270, and we'll say, these two together is $3, right? So we'll just say we're at like 273. So we're up 273, and this is not actual numbers, obviously. I'm just rounding things up and rounding down. So 273 in profit, out of it right now. I'm definitely doing good inside the market. So being down with those three shares that are down a little bit, do I necessarily care? No. Overall, I think they're all going to turn green, and we're going to continue to look for other investments that we can possibly get into, or continue to look at the investments that we currently have and see, can we increase our position. No, I'm not going to buy any more shares of PBF unless it's down at that $66.35 range. Same thing with almost all the rest of these. I'm not going to buy any more shares of these companies unless it's down towards where I initially bought them at. So right now, as I look at most of these companies, the only one that is even in range for me to purchase things would be, let's see what we have right here. If Washington Prime Group went down a little bit more, I could purchase more of that. And Build-A-Bear, if it dropped down 10 cents, we could purchase more of that. ViewRay, if it dropped down, we could purchase more of that possibly. Azul is already down lower, so if it continued to drop down lower, we can purchase more of that. BP or Vion. The rest of the stocks, they haven't dropped down lower back until I initially purchased them at. They probably won't. And we're happy to say that they probably won't. So anyway, hopefully this gives you a quick outlay of what we have told people that we own, and just looking at our MSN money and looking at where the things stand. Hopefully when I did give out some of the things that I bought, hopefully some people did buy some shares of some things, and if you saw you had made some profits, hopefully you went ahead and sold if you wanted to, but I'm in it for the long run, so I'm looking to really see a big gain in the long term, right? So we're saying a year or more out, from that March area. So next March, we're looking to see where we're going to be at inside the marketplace, right? So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video of me showing you what's going on inside the marketplace of these particular companies and stocks. And later on, we'll actually do a video on how to do valuations and things like that to figure out what companies that look good to you. So you want to always be looking at dividend yielding companies. Most of these companies that I've purchased, the majority of them don't pay dividends, but there are a handful that do. So always think about that and do your research. All right. So it's been a great morning for me so far. You guys enjoy. Bye.